Good morning and welcome to Angkor Golf Resort. Today we're going to run through some bunker basics. As you can see from that wonderful flyover of the par 5 13th hole, we have many bunkers here at Angkor Golf Resort. In fact, we have 89 in total. So Sir Nick Faldo was very aggressive with his bunker strategy during the course design. So there's a very high chance that when you play golf here, you will end up in the bunker. So hopefully today's insights will help you easily splash that ball onto the green. Okay, so first of all, let's talk a little bit about the equipment that we're using in the bunker. So your sand wedges are designed a little bit differently to the rest of the golf clubs in your set. This is to help you get the ball out a little bit more easily. So we'll notice on a sand wedge, the angle between this leading edge and the bottom edge, we call this the bounce angle. This is so important when we're playing bunker shots and when you have a quality sand wedge to play the shot. So this bounce angle really helps the club slide through the sand and prevents the club from digging. If we present the bounce angle, the club will easily work through the sand and help you splash the ball onto the green. So understand the technology, try and understand what the bounce angle is, and then you'll really understand more how to play the shot. Loft is so important. You should be using your 56, your 58, your 60. Make sure you have enough bounce angle for that club to work through the sand. 8 degrees, 10, 12, even 15 degrees. So for when you have fluffy, light sand, you want more bounce angle. If the sand is harder or wet, less bounce angle is better so the club doesn't dig in. So understand the technology. So now let's talk about the setup, how to set up correctly to play the shot. As with any shot, whether it's your driver, the iron, pitching, chipping onto putting, we should have a different stance for that particular shot, and especially in the bunker. We need to have a bunker setup to play these greenside splash shots. So firstly, let's take a wider stance like you would for your driver perhaps, so feet further apart, and let's sit down into the feet a little bit more. You're lowering your center of gravity, so a nice wide stance. We're going to move the ball forward towards the left heel for a right-handed golfer, just inside the left heel here. As we lower our bodies into the sand, we also want the handle, our hands to be lower at address, a little bit like this. For a greenside bunker shot, we can also have a little bit of reverse shoulder tilt, just to shallow that angle of attack and help the ball come out. So wider stance, lower yourself into the sand, ball forward, hands low, make sure that face is open a little bit. The loft is your friend in the bunker. We all hate this word, practice. So important in the bunkers and with any shot of course in golf. Practice, practice, practice. We have two wonderful practice bunkers here at the driving range at Angkor Golf Resort. I don't see too many people taking advantage of them. Just 5-10 minutes before your round or in between rounds, it really will give you that confidence when you're on the golf course that you're doing the right thing and the ball will come out. So just take 10-20 minutes, draw a line in the sand, get used to your setup as we've just discussed. Imagine the line is essentially where the ball would be, so towards your left heel, that wide stance. And with the bunker shots, we really need to be able to master the skill of letting the club enter the sand in the same place consistently, or as close as we can to the line. That will really help you get the ball out more regularly. So let's just do some practice swings and we can run through a few things in our mind. Once we've got that setup correct, hands down, loft open, a slightly weaker grip, the pressure over the left knee, that makes us feel stable. Stability is huge in a bunker shot. We really don't want to see sway in, lateral movement. That's when you get the heavy shots and the thin shots, those dreaded shots that fly way over the green. So stability is key in the bunker. The setup helps us maintain that stability. So then we just need to practice striking the sand in the same place each time. So just work along the line and see where the club is entering in relation to the line. We can also learn a lot from the divots. We want a shallow divot, a shallow and a long divot after the line. We don't want to see those deep, diggy divots. So there we go, that's a little bit before the line, over the left knee, through the line. Through the line, that was a better one. Perfect. So as I'm doing that, I'm also feeling and listening to the sound of the divot, and I'm really trying to feel that the back of the club is entering the sand. The bottom of the club, the back of the club, the sole of the club. That's the feeling that we want to get. Not using the front of the club, that leading edge that will dig and will have a disaster. So practice, practice, practice. Okay, so now you have your setup positions, you're comfortable standing in the bunker, You understand the divot and how to use the loft. Let's talk a little bit about the technique, the swing for the bunker shot. As I said, loft is key. So once you're comfortable with your setup positions, remember stability all the time over that left knee. So it's essentially more of a hand and an arm swing. We don't want a big body movement. We don't want to be transferring the weight so much. So technique, you're basically just thinking of setting the club, letting this right arm fold, letting the hands and the wrist set a little bit, and we need to maintain loft throughout the shot. So as I set the club here, the club face, the grooves of the club are looking at me. This is a good sign that I've maintained the loft on the club. I haven't closed the club down, which is very unhelpful in the bunker. So loft is key. We just set the arms, pressure over the left knee, and you can see the grooves on the club. Through impact, the release is a little bit different compared to your iron shot. So as we release the club through the sand, I also want to see the grooves at the other side of the swing. So I've maintained the loft through impact, and I've used the bounce angle. Early release, so you're presenting the back of the club into the sand and not the front of the club. Shaft lean is not good for the bunker shots. Okay, so I hope that helps you a little bit next time you're here in the bunkers. Go and practice, enjoy the facilities, and we'll see you next time here at Angkor Golf Resort.